halted because of rain, bad light, wet outfield. Well, guess what? Trust Sri Lanka and trust India Pakistan to conjure up something else because the India versus Pakistan match that is taking place in Colombo at this point in time has been stopped. Why? Because of a swarm of insects. Mosquitoes, wasps, whole bunch of insects have invaded the ground at the Premadasa Stadium, and because of that, the umpires have told the players to go off the field so that the insect repellent guys can just go on and work on that. So in this match already we have seen two major stoppages. One, when you look at it, when the insects were really troubling the Pakistan players at that time, they had to use an insect repellent spray to ensure that they could at least get something going and there was no visible kind of disturbance. But here, despite using the insect repellent, it still did not work and the insects were swarming around. You look at the close-up visuals of the India versus Pakistan, especially when the batters were batting, there was a huge swarm that was going around the players' head and also near their faces. So that is why the umpires have stopped play because of an insect invasion that has taken place at the R Premadasa Stadium. Now these kind of situations are not uncommon in Sri Lanka because if you have to look at it, it has been raining for the past 3-4 days in Sri Lanka. One game was abandoned, and because of the weather conditions that's there, what happens is after such kind of rain, if it is dry and if it's a bit of humidity in the air, these kind of insects will come up and there'll be a swarm that will envelop the stadium at this stage. So this is the current situation that we are looking at this stage. I mean, we may have covered match stop due to fog. We may have done the updates on match stop due to rain, outfield, wet outfield. But no, here insects have stopped play at the R Premadasa Stadium that is reaching India versus Pakistan. And that's why the delay won't be that much. It will be close to about 10-15 minutes if you look at it. It may be overs won't be lost because already because of the insect disturbances, the over rate has been pretty abysmal for a women's match. The game began at 3. Normally in 3 hours and 30 minutes you should have finished the game, but I don't think it will end by 6:30 because of these two stoppages that is going on. So that's why India versus Pakistan currently, when you look at it, the insect repellent guys, they've got that motor on, they're going to spray it all over the outfield and just above so that the insects go away. Now, this is not the first time insects have actually stopped playing cricket. I mean, there was a swarm of bees that had invaded once in 2008 in New Delhi. Then, even in South Africa, you've seen bees invade and ensure that the game would be stopped. So, insects stopping play isn't something new when you have to look at it. But yes, it is kind of strange. I mean, it was going around in the entire match. Towards the evening time, it became progressively worse. And if proper action isn't taken, it will become worse in the night time as well because Colombo will have rather dry climate at this stage. And after a very humid kind of a morning where you did see rain, you will see these kind of insects that will prowl in the lights in particular. Already the lights are on in full swing in Colombo. There are dark clouds in the horizon, but it is expected to be cloudy. Chances of rain are not that high at this point heading into the night time. So Pakistan are kind of doing okay with the ball. When I have to read out the score at the time when it was delayed the match, there'll be a break in play. We are told a pest control and the match will be halted for 15 minutes. So 15 minutes you will see no action that is going to take place and no overs will be lost. So there's a fixed time when they can come back on the field and ensure that the match resumes. No overs will be lost. So 32 overs, that is the current situation. 34 overs, 154 for 4 with Jemima Rodriguez on 28. Harleen Deol missed the chance to get to her 50, but she fell for 46. Smriti Mandana had a good start, but then she fell. Harmanpreet Kaur struggling against spin. That's also been a problem. And Pratika Rawal also falling. Jemima could have been out earlier, by the way. But a no ball from Diana Begg ensured that she survived. She was on 2 at that time. She made a rather loose cut shot, and that is why the catch was taken, but it was a no ball. So that is why the India women's team at this point in time, they need to be really careful because 16 overs are left. No reduction in the overs will take place. Now, if you have to look at it, a total in the excess of 250 will be very good. 240, 250, the pitch is already becoming slow. There is a lot of turn as well, slow turn. It's becoming sluggish for stroke making. So that's why whatever is the early moisture, all that has gone away. So that's the current situation. And Danush, Shubman Gill and Smriti Mandhana are the same, both stat pad heavily in bilateral series, get number one batter in ICC rankings, but choke in ICC tournaments and big pressure knockout games. Are you sure that you got that much of a sample size? I mean, Smriti, yes, 2017 she started off in a bang, but in 2022, India didn't make it to the knockouts. 2021, when if you look at even 2024, they didn't make it to the knockouts. So, knockout matches, yes, Smriti Mandhana hasn't capitalized on it. 2020 also, she didn't do well. Agreed. Gill also in 2023 in the knockout matches didn't do all that great. But maybe this is the chance to overcome that. I don't know how that is. Sportsman said, what are Harleen and Pratika up to? They can't bat in top three together. We should have dominated Park, but we're struggling for a good finish. Sportsman, the pitch is very awkward. Let me make it very clear. At the start, you can have play your strokes, but as the game progresses, it develops into a slow, sluggish, turgid Colombo wicket, and that's why I think Harleen did pretty well. I mean, the Pakistan bowlers, they had dried up the runs, the turn, the sluggish nature of the wicket ensured you couldn't get your stroke play going, and that's the problem. Sachin Kashyap, Harleen is looking in good touch. I think she should hit 100. Well, we hope so that she could have gone past for her 100, but yeah, 46 is what you'll have to be satisfied with. So that's why we are about 8 minutes away from the start of the match. It is like going to be very, very interesting as to how that pans out. 34 overs, 154 for 4. The ideal total should be 250. But already because of this delay, the over rate has been abysmal, and you're looking at the toss. What was happening at the toss? Because we have done a special video on it. You can check it out. But Fatima Sana actually gave the wrong call, but the match referee still made a wrong decision and allowed Fatima Sana to continue and say, yes, you take the decision. What happened at the toss? That is a strange phenomenon that has gripped India versus Pakistan at this point. We want one game where there should not be any kind of controversy, but no. ICC, everybody else want to create a controversy just to ensure that this fake rivalry continues to be just boasted up. Freaking awesome. I think other than SL team, no team has chased on 200 plus at Colombo in women's cricket. Yeah, I mean, the nature of the wicket at the R Premadasa doesn't allow you to get it. And now there is not basically a wind blowing. If there is wind, there is a bit of swing also on offer in the lights in Ketarama, but that's also not happening. So that's why it'll be tough. So let's see how that pans out at this particular point in time. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. We'll be back soon. The match is going to resume in the next 5 to 6 minutes. So bye-bye. See you soon.